Do you really think the cash sitting in your bank account is safe? Because right now, inflation is silently stealing your money. Not next year, not someday. Today, and the worst part, most people don't even realize it's happening. You open your banking app, see the same number, and think everything is fine. But in reality, your purchasing power is getting weaker every single month. That's why billionaire investor Ray Dalio once made a brutal statement: cash is trash. Harsh? Maybe. But during periods of high inflation, he may have been right. Because if your money grows slower than inflation, you're technically becoming poorer every year, even while saving. So where do smart investors actually put their money during economic chaos? In this video, we're breaking down 5 assets people use to protect their wealth during inflation, market crashes, and currency devaluation. And by the end, you'll understand why cash alone is dangerous, which assets historically survive inflation, and how wealthy investors protect their purchasing power. Let's begin. The invisible monster. First, we need to understand the problem. Inflation simply means prices keep rising over time. Something that costs $100 today could cost $110 next year. And if your money isn't growing faster than that, you're losing money in real terms. Even legendary investor Warren Buffett has warned that inflation quietly destroys wealth, because traditional savings accounts and low-yield investments often fail to keep up. And that's why holding too much cash long-term can actually become dangerous. Which brings us to the first safe haven. 1. Gold, the ultimate crisis asset. For thousands of years, humanity has trusted one thing during chaos: gold. Wars, financial crashes, currency collapses. Whenever fear enters the market, people run to gold. Why? Because governments can print unlimited paper money, but they cannot print gold. Its supply is limited, it has physical value, and historically it has protected wealth during inflationary periods. After the 2008 financial crisis, investors rushed towards safe assets, and gold prices surged dramatically. Of course, gold has one weakness. It doesn't produce cash flow, no dividends, no rental income. But that's not the point. Gold acts like financial insurance when confidence in the system starts breaking down. And that's exactly why many investors still keep part of their portfolio in gold or silver. 2. Real estate, the inflation hedge people love. Real estate has historically been one of the strongest long-term inflation hedges. Why? Because when inflation rises, property prices usually rise too. But that's only half the story. Rental income also increases, meaning your property becomes more valuable and your cash flow rises at the same time. That combination is incredibly powerful. The problem? Buying property today is expensive, very expensive, and real estate isn't very liquid. You can't instantly sell a house tomorrow morning if you suddenly need cash, which is why many investors use REITs instead. Real estate investment trusts. These are companies that own massive properties like shopping malls, office towers, hospitals, and apartment complexes. And because they trade on the stock market, regular people can invest in real estate with much smaller amounts of money. Many REITs also pay consistent dividends, so investors get real estate exposure, passive income, and stock market liquidity. 3. Companies with pricing power. This is one of Warren Buffett's favorite strategies during inflation. Pricing power. Not every company survives inflation well. Some businesses lose customers the moment they raise prices, but others are so essential or so dominant that people keep buying no matter what. Think about toothpaste, shampoo, food, drinks, cleaning products. Even during recessions, people still buy them. That's why strong consumer brands often perform better during inflationary periods. Companies like the Coca-Cola Company, Procter & Gamble, have historically been viewed as more defensive investments, because strong brands can often pass rising costs directly onto consumers, and that ability becomes extremely valuable during inflation. 4. Inflation-protected bonds. Earlier, we talked about how traditional bonds can struggle during inflation, But there's one important exception: inflation-protected bonds. In the United States, they're called TIPS, Treasury Inflation Protected Securities. These bonds were specifically designed to fight inflation. Here's how they work. As inflation rises, the value of the bond adjusts upward too, meaning your purchasing power is protected. For investors who want lower risk, government-backed assets, and protection against inflation, these bonds can become an attractive option, especially during uncertain economic periods. 5. Commodities. Profiting from inflation itself. Oil and copper, natural gas, wheat. These aren't just products. In many cases, they're the reason inflation rises in the first place. When energy prices explode, inflation rises. When food shortages happen, inflation rises. And because of that, commodities can perform extremely well during inflationary cycles. While paper currencies lose value, tangible raw materials often become more expensive, which is why investors sometimes move into commodities during periods of economic instability. And thanks to ETFs, investing in commodities today is easier than ever. You no longer need to physically store barrels of oil or industrial metals. The most important lesson. Here's the truth. No investment is perfect. Gold can fall, stocks can crash, real estate can slow down. That's why smart investors rarely rely on just one asset. They diversify. Because the real goal isn't becoming rich overnight, it's protecting your purchasing power over the long run. So instead of asking, how do I get rich fast? A better question might be, how do I stop inflation from quietly making me poor? And that question alone can completely change the way you think about money. So, which asset do you trust the most during inflation? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more finance content. See you in the next video.